And we are back with another episode of Brickstop Live with me, your host Jason, and Jim from Retro Space Coats.
What's happening, folks?
How you doing?
Oh, good, man. Yeah,
Right on.
very, very well. Nice Monday.
Yeah, welcome. Happy Monday, everyone. We got Lorm System in the chat. We've got Absolute Garbage
Yo.
in the chat. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. This is show 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 of seeing if Tricks will jump in.
Yeah.
I almost messaged him on Instagram today. He's like, "You should let me know because of the notifications aren't working or whatever." And then I didn't. So anyway, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, it's a new time. It'll take a little bit to fully catch the switch, but so stoked. So the last few episodes we've had some really ace conversation from the chat. So yeah, fair play the chat. Nice one. Good to see everyone.
Yeah, welcome. We have a decent amount of people jumping in here. We got Andrew Auburn, we got Michael Casserly, we got Bricks and Figs Collectibles, and Trick Bricks. Oh yeah, I was just roasting you. he's in the house, so we got him watching while filming my top 25 vintage minifigs. Wow, that's going to be a banger of a video.
Hey, looking forward to that, man.
Hello, everyone.
What's happening, everyone? Are we all stoked for the Royal Knights?
Just taking a sip of tea here.
We're going to jump into this.
I pulled this image off of the Legos website, so we'll see if this video even stays up. I found it interesting though. I couldn't get a super high quality. It was still kind of blurry. So we're gonna have a couple of blurrier images. There's a few things I couldn't find for the Royal Knights, but we're gonna get into it anyway, and we got some pretty cool images. So, yeah, I didn't. You know what? I also didn't do a whole ton of research on when these were released and such. But
there's a lot out there with that stuff on. We're just gonna have a little talk about this from the heart, Jason.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. I mean, the Royal Knights, man. This was the late '90s. Mid to late 90s, came out along with the Dark Forest, and I mean we're looking at Armada. What else? I mean, probably most of the themes we've covered over the last several episodes are all in the same time frame. Robo Force. This was all kind of floating in the same catalog here.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've hit a lovely slice of Lego space time in that 95 region, and that kind of some of the themes that existed around some of the really, really well-known themes that are very, very commonly known, to maybe some stuff that's still quite well-known, but a little bit more fringe from the time. Royal Knights, however, was a big key player here for Castle in 95. So with a very, very flagship Castle, probably one of second favorite.
Second favorite for me as well. It's pushing first almost.
It's more of a joint first than with this and Dungeon Masters for me.
Yeah, it's hard to push Dungeon Masters out with this one, but the base plate is better in my opinion. And that's only because the Dungeon Masters Castle comes on a base plate that also shows up in like 7 other sets.
Yes. Yeah, there's just something a little bit more unique about this. You didn't get a lot of octagon parts like that in light grey. There's a lot of stuff going on with the build that's very indicative of 1995 and where Lego is going with its bigger pieces. So it's very exciting. I guess you could make the argument that, well, look what Dungeon Masters Castle was able to do a few years before.
Totally.
So anyway, without going too much on the Dungeon Masters theme, but I think it's important to note because they are 2 very, very key contenders for the best Lego castles of the classic era.
As far as I'm concerned, I agree. As far as I'm concerned, those 2 are the best ones that Lego's ever made.
Yeah.
And I would even say of all time, I put that above Lion Knight's Castle.
Yes.
As well. And I own that, and I own these 2. So I feel like I have enough, hands-on experience with all of them to know, or at least, again, though, I mean, it all really does come down to personal preference. But
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the league that you must about. It's not like kind of, it's the best. Your best is your objective best, but within a consensus of really objectively looking at these castles and like how well they've met the mark. There is a bit of a league there for me, and yeah, this is high on the league.
Yeah. Absolute Garbage says base plate supremacy, which is true. This is probably, it may be my favorite raised base.
That little steps up the side.
Steps, yep.
Great touch, man.
It's those steps, man. It
seals the hatch door and come up from underground. Lovely.
Let's see. That's a good question. Does Andrew Auburn ask, do you count Flying Ninja's Fortress as castle like I do? Yes, I do. Flying Ninja's Fortress had some major problems, in my opinion, though.
Yeah.
But I do love that castle.
It's very cool visually. Big.
But I mean, that doesn't hold a candle to this, in my opinion, right? Like, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump off of the opening slide here. We're gonna jump into a couple of cool images here. We got the first couple of sets down on the bottom here, and then we got this image from one of the Lego Ideas books, which I think helped solidify this in my brain as one of my favorite factions and just years of Lego Castle. I get that like people aren't sold on the Royal Knights fully.
Yes.
It's also one of the big images to show that the Royal Knights actually did battle with the Black Knights almost more than any other faction.
Well, it shows so much, doesn't it? It shows it gives us more context for lay of the land. It definitely gives us an epic scale of battle. There's even some. Now we've had this conversation a lot about Black Knights shields turning up in Dragon Masters factions, but again, I've one straight in front of me, middle bottom of the page. You can see there he's about to fall off a cliff, and he's got a Black Knight. So there's that whole thing still going on. So, and if you look carefully in the background, the build on its way out into the background on that second tier level has got a waterfront base build for the Royal Knights, which is another amazing bit of context for the Royal Knights lore provided by Lego. So we can get waterfront with Royal Knights, and it's kind of canon. So that's ace. Not that that would matter if you're a serious builder, but it's nice to have that bit of reference for it. So there's all sorts going on here. All sorts.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. Big doors on this interesting tower kind of thing built on the Royal Knights Castle base plate down in the left or the right hand lower corner. I like the ruined castle with the dead king up on the cliff here. Hopefully people can see this.
It's dead clear on mine.
It's clear on mine as well, but we are not streaming it.
Oh, that's 4K, true. Yeah.
So I hope people can kind of get it again. And the image itself isn't. I mean, I had to find scans of these things.
Yeah,
it's as clear as I could get it. But I also like this war wagon just like rolling in off the left corner. Just no horses, like nothing pushing this thing.
You just push it down the hill,
free falling in, and then we got Black Knights riding dragons as well. Right here. So a lot of fun mixing up of Black Knights and Dragon Masters. Or I guess these are Dragon Masters. Never mind.
They're Dragon Masters. They've just used the Black Knight shield. Say, they've got a blue one, not just a green one. But of course, we know that shield from.
Well, you also got to consider the Ideas books were their main goal was to mix things up, and so this of all the instances of little bits of lore and little. Like Black Knights and shields and Dragon Masters and stuff mixing up. This actually is makes the most sense, and this is the most.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Because you also have. Go ahead.
No, sorry, you carry on. I was
just going to say.
I agree with you.
Okay, yeah. Well, the guy that's carrying that Black Knight's shield in the middle, his pants are white. Yeah, and I don't think any Dragon Masters ever had white pants.
That's interesting, but I know who did.
They're just mixing it up.
White Knight did. Interesting. So loads of food for thought there, isn't there? If you're a lore fan, but there's definitely some funky catapults going on down there. Look at that big blue one.
Yeah, big old trebuchet. I think that was their representation. But they're riding it.
Yes, and the doors have come off. I'm looking at that build and those doors that have come off, and I'm thinking, I'm sure those doors will crest over the top trebuchet arch.
Probably why they're flying
shutters are. So there you go. Anyway, it's nice. I tell you what they have done on that build there, where that trebuchet has gone through the hole where the doors are. If you look, they've used the the longer panels, black panels that we were just talking about off air for the Royal Knights castle with the window arch. They're a bit longer and on an angle, a little bit harder to get hold of. They've done the full 4, and I guess what shape would that be? An octagon. So they've done like a full. A full round of it, which we've not seen in an actual official set. We see partial builds, but not the full octagon. So that's nice to see.
Yeah, so this image is crazy. I mean, there's so much to look at. There's so much to talk about. I would recommend going on eBay and buying
have a good look at this,
a used copy of this book, because there's also another page that's Armada and Islanders. And it's just a full spread of like 10 different pirate little islands and like ships and things that you could just look out for hours. But this is also, a good thing to kind of grease the wheels if you want to be doing like more set design in these themes. This is a masterclass in taking elements that are theme specific and then running with them. Because like all of these castles and stuff like that, they pull in all the elements of those two factions. Right? And then they just they show you different ways you can use those elements.
Well,
some things and stuff. So,
and I guess essentially what they're doing is they're looking to see how the new elements from this year are going to interact with the already staple library of system, and so you start to see the artists experimenting with the new shape. So now let's see how the crenellation can be, integrated with this octagon piece that will sort of echo that shape. And so they try all of that kind of stuff. So that's something else you can have in mind. Think about what parts came out that were in all these sets and what interesting new ways that we haven't seen before we've got of incorporating them with the existing system. And I think that's what they do seem to do a lot in these idea books for sure.
It's definitely inspiration for like parts usage.
But set design wise, specifically, like you say, I'm glad you said that, because it definitely gives you an idea of the sort of things Lego would do. I mean, like look at this, the cart we talked about that's sort of tumbling down the hill. There's some definite play feature action going on there. Those looks almost like where we would launch boulders and stones and barrels or whatever it might be out of those little pivotal plates. So I'd love to see someone recreate that. Actually, that looks really
cool. For sure. And also the amount of like siege engines, ballista way back there, it looks like, of some sort, or little 2-wheeled catapult by the king. One of my favorites is this dual arm launcher with the horses with the dragon wings clipped onto the the bar for the tongue of the wagon there. And you got that double, kind of giving me what's the catapult with the 2 arms for the
twin arm launcher.
You got a Dragon Master's version of the twin arm launcher. There's a ton of ghosts and skeletons scattered throughout this whole thing. Lots of chrome crowns. It's a beautiful image. We love it. I'm going to pull comments up real quick because there's lots of people talking, and then we'll move on to the sets. Let's see. We had Andrew says Royal Knights is number 1 for me. We've got Laura Mipsum with the Royal Teddy Bears. We got Dragon Masters in saying, "Hey, Rick Stop, love the Royal Knights." Trix loves the image, says such a cool image. And then down here says the old ideas books are such a great gold mine, which is definitely true.
I think I might.
Michael DeSouza Cruz jumped in. The Demon Lions. Not a fan of those guys. We got Glap in the house. And rip those octagonal pillars. Sadly, they are gone. I don't think they don't make those anymore. They got the dumb grooved pillars now. Royal Knights is probably number 5 for me, but I still love them, says Glat 308. I mean, everybody's got their rankings, right?
For sure.
All right, enough oohing and ahhing over the non-licensed or the non-official sets up in the top here.
Here's what you could have had.
Here's what you could have had if you spent $500 in the 90s. We have the king on the horse here as one of the little box sets you could get, and then this little rowboat with the double crossbows. Couldn't find a clear image of that rowboat. Really, it was hard.
It's
a little blurry.
It's a little bit more uncommon, isn't it? I don't think I remember that one.
Yeah, I wonder if this was.
I do actually. Polybag. It was a polybag. I think. Yes. I don't think this is like with the Wolfpack one where it was North America or whatever. I think this one did get released, but it was a polybag.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it may have also been in a box, but I know for sure that it was in a polybag. I also know the king was in a box because I purchased him. He was one of.
Yes, he was definitely in a box.
Third or fourth sets I ever owned was this king on a horse here. So pretty early memories of these guys. This was what was on the shelves when I was like 10 and 11.
Yeah. I remember them being on the shelves. I remember them very well. They were really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Absolute Garbage says this era reminds me of those medieval castle books where you could see who the whole war scenes and sieges. Yes. Yeah. The cross sections, castle books, or like the search and find kind of like books where you'd open the double page and it would have the siege tower. It always had a siege tower in it with like the castle cutaway, and you could see them inside, like throwing oil and stones down.
Yeah. Totally. This is the catalogue page I remember very, very clearly. I remember looking at this a lot. And it's interesting, isn't it, that here we are just a little bit before Fright Nights.
Yeah.
And we've got skeletons and ghosts and dead trees and gothic imagery, some spooky imagery coming from both sides, not just the Dragon Masters.
That's true. Yeah.
We're on a crescendo to Fright Nights. And I'm not sure whether this was enough. If they'd have embellished this a little more and kept these factions, whether the move to Fright Nights was justified for the major spook factor. Obviously, now that we know it came, we would miss it. But I sometimes do wonder, would this have been enough of the Gothic imagery? Because this is fantastic for me. I don't know if you understand the sentiment there.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, definitely Gothic architecture. But then, there's two kind of interpretations of Gothic, right? Because you have the architecture, which is just a style of building, and you do have that with the gargoyles and the flying buttress kind of feels with the large arches and the pillars.
Yes.
But then you also have Gothic, as in the Gothic vampiric reign of these these images and like Dracula and all of those things.
Supernatural Gothic.
Yeah, and so you're right. It kind of. You can see elements with the skeleton surprise and like the kind of the scary wizard and the dragon masters and such. And so
at the time,
combine those.
They come together. Yeah, you're right. Because at the time, the Dragon Master's castle was pretty scary compared to what we'd had. It got a pit with a dragon in, for goodness sake.
And I could see a big dragon statue.
Of course. Yeah. Well, drop boulders on you when you're coming up the path, and just seeing it there in the background behind on that backwards layer. I like how that was always all the Dragon Master stuff was always up on a bit of a kind of out fantasy outcrest or something.
Yeah,
very Magisto-esque. This is a contender for me for one of my favorite bits of Lego Castle art. There's a few really good ones, and it would be hard to tell. But there's stuff I like about this. It doesn't look as though you've got as much because there's so much cool stuff in the foreground with the king coming out and the wizard. But I know looking up that ramp, there is some cool stuff going on. The carriage is on the way down. The knights are making their way up. You finally get this idea of combining the drawbridge with the castle and having a mega base. You get this illustrated to you in its context with that drawbridge just coming across there. So it's a killer
looks really cool. It looks nice, and the drawbridge almost serves as like a kind of a watchtower out next to it, like a barracks or some sort of military outpost before you get to the main castle kind of feel there.
And of course, just behind this, if you imagine another layer behind this, you've got the Dark Foresters looking up at the Royal Knights Castle, having the same feeling of battle off that other poster.
Maybe down in here where you see those trees, the forest down below. Maybe they're down below there. The cliffs.
Yeah, potentially.
All right, let's see. Crusader 9576. Are the Royal Knights connected to one of the Yellow Castle factions? Not really directly at all. I mean, there aren't any lion representations in that castle at all.
I think the general interpretation is because there's no other Crusaders about with the Royal Knights, that this is the Crusaders, but they're just presented to you as the Royal Knights with King Richard and a new lion, whether you like it or that or not. But you could have both running alongside. There's no reason. I don't want to stamp on anyone's plaything with that, but you see what I mean. It's I feel like it's a supersede. It supersedes it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the natural progression of the Crusaders, I think, the Lion Knights. Yeah, I mean, you can look at all of Lego's factions as standalone factions that aren't related in any way, because there was enough heraldry in the Middle Ages that was just like that. There was more than one knight with a lion on his shield, or even a group of knights that didn't have anything to do with these other knights with lions on their shields. But in Lego lore, we kind of like the timeline and see the evolution of these factions coming back through. So, but that's a good point, Crusader, that there wasn't any real tie back to the actual yellow castle. There's very little actually in most of the standard factions we have today. You are correct to say though that the background, the divided plane with the white and red do mirror some of those very early yellow castle knights, the men at arms and I think it was the procession. The little knight's procession with the little wagon and stuff. That's a good point. That is a good point. But I think that's just probably, I don't think there's any kind of lore at all to like support necessarily a connection. I think that's probably just
I've never thought of that before, though. I think I've just subconsciously consumed that shield design. But he's right. Yeah, it's got the partition, the red and white half with the blue border. So that's interesting. Yeah, I'll look at it from that angle. I like Lauren Systems' comment about the physical design of the area in it, and obviously this is one of the last years that we got this real attention to detail in a bit of Lego art. So I think you're right. It went out with a bang, though.
It makes an impressive mountain too. It's not a small, foam area there at all. Those rocks look really nice. And I just realized there's several little Dragon Masters scaling the cliff back there.
Oh yeah,
with ropes.
Nice.
That's awesome. All right, so moving on. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was wrapping it up. I was just saying it's really good.
Image-wise, it's really nice looking. Also, let's just be real. This Royal Knight down here getting scared by the skeleton is carrying a Dragon Master shield.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So they just mix it up just for kicks at this point.
It's just kind of, Well, he might have just killed the Dragon Master and got his shield split in the process, so he just picked up his adversary's shield because it was in full working order. You've got to think outside the box on the battlefield.
Well, you also got to think maybe the Dragon Master's, maybe the skeleton was a Dragon Master. He took the shield from the skeleton and then he popped up and scared the heck out of him.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
probably the more likely scenario.
He's out here looting. He's just looting the skeleton. Surprise.
Yeah.
So the only way to get a hold, as far as I know, of this catapult, the little blue catapult, and really the only siege weapon that the Royal Knights had in their arsenal was this one down here, and it came in this 2-pack with the Spireus set here. And my brother and I got this one, and I kind of let him have the spaceship, and I took the Royal Knights catapult.
Nice.
And I remember this one being such a fun set to get a hold of. So
it's really cool. I think it's easy. It'd probably be easy to throw that together. Maybe the Blue Arch. It's not super. I see a lot of them now, of course.
Yeah.
But I think there was a time when that Blue Arch was a little rarer. But provided you've got plenty of hinge and hose stuff, I think that's pretty easy to put together. But I think I'd like to see a couple of them in a Royal Knights army. And again, like we talked about with the cool wagons and things and alt builds as the Wolf Pack, you could recall this for a different faction and use this as a staple design for a little single-armed catapult, quite a little sturdy little unit, really, with those arches and stuff. So
absolutely.
It's another good addition to the universe of sort of equipment for castle, not just the bases and vehicles.
You also... recolor is a good point. You throw a red, you just replace the red with the blue or blue with the red, and you could put a Dragon Master shield on that, or Black Knights even. Yeah. You got a different little faction there. That would actually make a lot of sense. I love the use of the hose. Did you mention that already? The hose along the top?
Yeah, I just said if you've got a hose. I didn't say anything about its usage, so go ahead, dude. I was just saying it's nice to see one in general, especially using cattle.
Yeah, well, they did it a little more back with some of the wagons and things like that, but it's fun to see it there. Yeah, I remember building this thing by memory hundreds of times. Also, I will say these little the smaller sized wheels with the little wagon wheels there, that might be my favorite Lego wheel of all time.
Yeah,
In that size, the small one.
Yeah, they
I
look
don't
the
know what
best.
it is.
They just, I think, they define quite well, like the rim and then the spokes and then the little dots along. I don't know. You could use them for so much stuff as well. Like they're not just limited to equipment and vehicles. You can use them in the winches and your turning equipment. They're just so versatile, and they're quite plentiful as well. So, in the second-hand market, so yeah, you can get a bag of them without too much worry. Although things are getting worse and worse all the time.
Yeah, it is getting there. Yeah, Andrew, great little catapult, says Andrew, or catapult is a great little build, I should say. Read it. I should probably read these comments correctly.
Let's have a look what we got.
Didn't one of the ideas books have a siege weapon build?
Yes. There was a few.
Which one was it?
There was one. I don't know if it was. Oh, you're talking specifically Royal Knights. I was going to say because the first one I think of is that big dragon one for the I think it was the Falcons in an old ideas book. It was like a great big siege weapon. But Royal Knights wise, most of the siege weapons on this picture are the Dragon Masters, aren't they?
Yeah, looks like it. For the most part, it looks like there's one back here by the king. I like the little troop of knights marching in too. That's fun. Not to get sidetracked again. I was actually pulling this image up to see if they used any hoses on some of these vehicles, but it doesn't look like it. I don't see any. So
yeah, could be something going on, but
pretty relegated to just this little blue catapult. Yeah, this is a great set. You get the classic red dude with his little helmet. You come with two shields, which is pretty crazy, and a battle axe and a spear, or a halberd and a spear. So
no, it's great. I think Castle came off better with this value pack than Space did. Nothing against that. I love Spires, but this isn't the best design.
No, it isn't, but it is kind of unique.
It's unique. It's good. You'd want it in your Spires collection. I
totally.
See this.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more alt buildy than the Catapult's more believable as a mainstream release, isn't it?
That's fair. Also, it does have a very cool folding function on the wings to make it look a little more saucer-like once it's put together, folded together.
Not dissing it. It's cool, man. I
think you're right. Out of the two, I think the Castle one is definitely more polished looking. So. Then we jump into Skeleton Surprise and Knights Royal Carriage or Royal Knights Carriage. Royal Knights Carriage might have been my third Lego set of all time. Yeah, and man, do I remember those chrome swords, man.
Yeah, they hit different when you got one. Chrome anything for the first time. Now I'm thinking I probably had a chrome. I think my first chrome was Aquazone, the spears and crystals, which was this year anyway, wasn't it? So
same. Yeah. We got to talk about that soon.
We've got to talk about Aquazone. I've got to mock some Aquazone. I've got a couple of ideas for that.
I have one. Arts. Yeah. I've got one design for them.
Yeah. But yeah, the chrome definitely it's different. I'm with you there, Jason. It definitely, and I always say about this King's Carriage that if you didn't have any Royal Knight sets, but you'd got a reasonable collection of Lego Castle, it was just the Royal Knights you were missing. If you could get this set in full.
Yeah,
there's enough parts here to put together at least a little outpost for the Royal Knights. You've got a few shields, you've got a decent platoon of troops, an extra shield for your wall or above your door or whatever. You've got your cloth flag, and then go from there with what you've got in your collection. You use your black panels and try and use your grey. But if you've just got 6044, it would be a really cool starter pack to start making some Royal Knights mocks with your own physical stuff. And if you could get two, even better, then you could have an even bigger castle. So absolutely. I think it's quite. I like the wave distribution on this theme, the Royal Knights. They did the wave really well, that you could get a good slice of the action. Even if you couldn't afford the big castle, you get the little ones, and you could still make yourself a little base.
I agree. And so does Dragon Master Subo. Royal Knights Carriage comes with so much. It's a tiny battle pack and a vehicle. Yeah, 4 minifigs in a set that size is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
it comes with 2 horses too, which is a good point. You get, and then if you bought 2 of these things, you got 4 horses. You could have already have like a little cavalry of dudes.
Yeah.
The treasure was just those transparent little 2x or 1x1s.
Yes, yeah.
They didn't have the gold coins in here, but
no.
They did have the crown and the chrome swords.
And they're definitely advertising. They're showing you that. Look how they've adjusted the photography on the picture. The sun's just coming over the crest there, shining through as this guy, the brave move to turn the legs around and have him kneeling, I guess. And he's being knighted and the light's shining on him. And it's all very, sort of... what's the word? Everything's coming together in that picture quite nicely to sell the product, but tell the story as well. So it's a win. Another example of vintage Lego system art at its best.
This kind of was, and again, these were the informative years for me. I was just getting into Lego, and putting together a set like this, it just gave me so many great ideas and like what Lego ought to look like or kind of feel like with. And I say that because of the way this is built. The treasure chest area, you can slide that right in. And then these guys, the 2 knights on the ground, can actually ride on the back, like back to back.
Yeah.
So there's room for all of them to ride around in this.
And I really like that. I like that illustration where you see them sitting on the back. I love that. You just jump on the car, jump on the wagon and go ahead. I tell you, if I was being very picky, it would be cool if that bit that you were just talking about where the treasure chests are, if you look at the brick that's either side in blue, there's 2 spare studs. Could have got 2 little hoses over from one end to the other. It could have just lit it up. Now, here's my question to you, Jason. If they did that and they put a couple of hoses there, do you think they would have made them white? Or do you think they'd have gone black? What do you think they'd have done? I wonder whether white could look cool, because we've got, of course, those lances in white, and you might have a white rope just to signify royalty. I wonder whether that could be a cool little mod. Not that this needs a mod, but, I'm always thinking.
No, I get what you're saying. I think black would make most sense, probably, especially considering it was on the catapult in black. I think originally what those things are representing in Castle are either like almost like wagon hoops where you would throw a cloth over to create a covered wagon type thing, or perhaps like iron bars. So you would want to think about like, well, what would they look like? But actually, that being said, there is a Castle set that uses white ones, isn't there?
There is, And I know, as well as that, the lances are white, and they don't necessarily need to be white.
Right.
So it's just sometimes Lego do things for a theme with a color. Doesn't necessarily reflect a reality. It's just, this is what this theme's thing's going to be, and that's why you end up with like a red octagon that costs £100 from a pirate ship, or a red trapdoor. You know what I mean?
Speaking of red trapdoor, I just checked.
Did you find it?
It's in there, man.
Whoa!
Yeah, I got that.
Amazing.
I got it. It's in there. I don't know how much those go for, but
anyone who doesn't know what we're referring to, a few weeks ago we were talking about Pirates Perilous Pitfall. Have I got that right? Alliteration there for that. Pirates Perilous Pitfall, and it's that set that's so expensive just because of a red trapdoor. Likewise with the little pirate ship. Again, Crossbone Clipper. There's a little red octagon piece for the. It's also very rare because it only came in those sets in red, if I'm not mistaken, Jason.
Yes.
And so every
time both of those actually.
Well, when you've talked about it with us, and when you've talked about it back with Andrew back in the day on Let's Talk About Lego, you said every time I need to go and check my box. So you finally got confirmation on that.
Because I was moving a lot of that stuff. I've been in the process of shifting a lot of it over to a different area, and I found the box with it in it, and I pulled out part of it. It's not really fully completed, but it's in there, and I turned it over to see if that red. And it's the red trapdoor, man. So we're fully authentic with that one.
Amazing.
This is an awesome comment. Bricks and Figs Collectibles says Royal Knight's carriage was awesome with the Dark Forest ambush set as a kid.
Made for each other.
It could actually have been made exactly for that. Like, that is the best. And it could, it would have been a cool combo pack. The carriage with that. How cool would that have been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. That's exactly what you would want that ambush, the Dark Force ambush set to be. I love that. That's such a great idea. Let's see. Andrew says, just dug out my ideas book featuring this. The book is 697 for anyone who wants to get a hold of that one. There's no siege build for the Royal Knights, but there is a mid-sized castle build actually
Yeah.
showing a page with a huge 2-page image.
Yes, it's the
yes.
one with the skeleton on the pillar, I think.
Yeah, let's just actually, someone else mentioned that as well in the comments. I'm sorry if I missed that. I did see it pop up. So in the design book or in the ideas book, the Royal Knights build is this castle up in the left hand upper corner with the skeleton on the pillar. That's the one that it shows you. It gives you some pretty nice little step-by-step instructions to build that one.
Yeah.
I tried to build it a while back, like way back, and I didn't have enough of those octagonal pillars.
Yeah, they always get me every time. I always have to stand up having to resort to a different piece or stacking up the round ones. I'm all about that one in the background with the water on that poster. That looks an interesting build, but we don't quite see enough. But
that one,
really cool.
We're just going back to it.
So that one, talking about
that one, and the one with the red angled roof, actually behind this larger.
Yes, one. That's cool, isn't it?
Two.
That's new for Royal Knights. They're blue everywhere else, so that's interesting.
I would say those two on this page would be the ones I would go to first.
Makes you want to start mixing it up. Does it make me want to make like a Magisto's carriage or something? Looking at all this,
dude. I mean, this is one of those things where I say there's no limit to the amount of additional sets we can add to all of these themes.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that just gets it going, man. Like you look through all these, and then it's like, oh, why haven't I done like a mock like this or set again, like a set design in this theme that's going to expand it out? Because I actually do think, I don't know that I have the list here, but I wrote a list of about 5 more sets for Royal Knights that could expand the theme. Yeah. So I have them written out. I just need to sit down and actually design them. But I have titles for like 5 or 6 more sets that could expand this completely.
And I would bet my bottom dollar that at least a portion of that is inspired by some of this from the AFOL brewing pot that is this beautiful work.
Yeah, 100%. Spacer Nate's jumping in with comment here. I still need the 697 and the 6000, I believe. Those are the numbers of the ideas books. I love intact sticker sheets, but we have to settle for less. I have some with those intact sticker sheets, and those sticker sheets, I don't know that they're going to be that sticky anymore. It is fun to have them in there, but I over time, I think some of the adhesive wears off a little bit.
Right.
I'd love to use some of those old stickers out of those books, but I'm a little scared that they're not going to really stick too well. But
yeah,
I do have books with some of those stickers still in them. So
yeah, I've got one with a full row. It's an older one though, so I don't know how sticky they'll be.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Oh well, yeah, and then skeleton surprise, pretty straightforward. A little room with a skeleton. Actually, a great play feature.
Yeah.
He does swing out and scare the guy, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. I feel like this was popular, or either that or distributed wider, because I see this a lot. If you're searching for Royal Knights in the second-hand market, this is going to be most of the results that you see, whether it be in part or full. I feel like this is a very common set with the collectors, or just was about at the time very common. And again, that lends itself if you really haven't got any and you want to build something up slow. This will get you the panels and crenellations to get something going again.
Yeah. Skeleton Surprise is pretty nice. These alt builds show you just the extent of how much you can do with it. It looks so small and mid.
Yeah.
But then you look at the alt build. I mean, the one where the skeleton's hanging off of that flag.
Yeah, that's great.
A sizable little outpost.
Yeah, that's fine. That wouldn't look out of place somewhere in your castle village as a little outpost, and perfectly acceptable. Nice little build. Not dead dissimilar to something you'd see in the ideas mags or the prototypes. So it's just nice. I always like to see just one arch used from time to time. Sometimes I don't think that's what I'm seeing here. Actually, it's a shadow. So I'm gonna abort that. I've made a mistake. But just for what it's worth, I do like to see sometimes when people use one arch instead of both join them, and so you get like a half arch.
A half arch.
Yeah, that's
I know what you're saying.
But that's not what's happening there. That's a shadow. I was mistaken. Apologies.
It does look because it's the battlement piece.
You see what I mean, though, don't you?
Cuts it just slightly so it looks like a tree branch.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah.
I also like how he's got the skeleton and as a drinking buddy there.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like after a few, suddenly, you're sitting there and the skeleton's hanging out, and you just like cozy up, and like in the movies,
yeah.
they like try to have a drink. It's like they're kind of cooked.
Let's have a break from scaring each other and trying to kill each other. Let's have a beer.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got. I used a few of those stickers, and they were fine, amazingly suspicious. Well, yeah, I hope that I could use some eventually. I'd like to peel some off and try and mess around with them at some point. So hopefully, maybe there's some sticky left on those, and they work. Those classic simple blue pieces for the horse saddles is amazing. Oh yeah, the little bricks. Yeah, are you talking about the little what would you call that?
Oh, on the car,
wagon hitch. Yeah, just the 2 bricks. Yeah, I mean that's the way, man. That's the way it was for sure.
Don't stab it through the side and then put white on.
Yeah, Andrew Auburn. I pieced together an Armada build in the same book. It's so cool. It's a cool little building featuring the classic Armada green doors. Yeah, that's what I was saying. In the same book that has all this ideas book we're talking about. 697 has a whole 2-page like scene of the Armada, a ton of different like little like different types of ships even.
And I remember the one. It's a weird one, that is, because it's a bit less coherent than the one we've just seen for Royal Knights. I think that one. There's loads of cool stuff there, but it's a bit.
There's a lot of palm trees.
Yeah, there's loads of palm trees. Loads of the white hull bits cracking around as well.
Yeah, a lot of that. I think what I liked about it as a kid was seeing the potential of what could be if you had like 20 of every set.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, how cool would it be to one day like have enough palm trees to make so it's just it's kind of inspirational.
Yes, like the gold and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there's piles of gold in that too. It's kind of like the gold from that poster with the Islanders, and they're sitting on the pile of gold.
Yeah. That's the kind of illustration that'll get you addicted to parts.
Mm-hmm.
Go easy, kids.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's another one of the Royal Knights sets. That's just a beautiful set.
Brilliant.
This echoes back a little bit for the Wolfpack Tower. So we're talking about profiles and like kind of the classic design techniques people were using to do set design. And this one, and there may even be more than this, but for sure these 2 builds echo a very similar kind of makeup, just profile wise. This one's a little bigger though.
Yeah, it's got some good height and some those octagonal pieces giving it some nice dimension. Nice dynamic. So what I really always liked about this build was the almost like the prison bar set up from Broadside's brig happening there on a half arch, funnily enough, that we just talked about, just using a half arch. Well, there it is at the front of that bridge, but of course here it's been utilised as a bit of a prison in which you will get trench foot and rot away because it's
just like
boggy in there.
Like the Forestman's River Fortress.
You're gonna.
They didn't care, dude. Also, a Pirate's Ambush, and I believe also Perilous Pitfall. All those prisons are down in the bottom basements of these water fortresses, and they don't have any.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? That's where they leave you.
So you just straight up gangrene and trench, and you're done.
Lots to like about this one. Nice and dynamic. Lots going on. The bridge itself is a touch disappointing. Not the play feature. The play feature is nice, but the fact that it just kind of resigns itself to being one plate when you look at its side profile in a silhouette, it's a bit lacking there.
That's a good point.
Some tweaks around that, and it's a very picky critique. I understand, but it's just
when you start
doing. I think, when you start doing a great job elsewhere in the build, I start thinking, oh, you should have just done that. This would have been a 10 out of 10 sort of thing.
Yeah,
so that's my only point.
All you needed to do was continue that gray little crenellation battlement just on even one side, the side that the skeleton's kind of on.
Yeah.
Because it would still function. It would still fall, and then you could still put it up, and you'd have that nice little sidewall going there.
Yeah.
Really tie everything together. This is a fun set, though. It's cool. I like the little raft. It's kind of a fun little raft. It almost looks like he stole that from Dark Foresters.
Yeah.
Got that little
yes,
tree
it's very
sail
cool.
going on.
Yeah, I love that. That's a nice old school hark there.
Yeah.
They put the oar through a hoop plate.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is nice on that one. So they definitely they've used the blueprint from the old aesthetic, but they've started to, all right, we'll do this a little bit of a different way. But yeah, Lauren's right. It was done several times, and even that raft was done several times. But there's some nuanced differences. Speaking of nuanced differences, the king of nuanced differences on this picture is this ridiculous Dragon Master that is just trolling. He's got a Royal Knight's sword, a Black Knight's shield, and he's turning up, and we don't know what to make of it.
He's got the full helmet.
Yeah,
with all of the plumes.
All the plumes. Nice red plume. It's amazing. I accept it.
The only thing he needs is, he's a charismatic boy.
But yeah, I mean, I used to think. I mean, I know where I stand on the shield thing, right? It's the same design in a different color. So maybe Lego are just marking the second season for Dragon Masters in a wave. This is their second outing now against the Royal Knights. So now we'll use this old shield just for a little change. I can live with that. And it fits their outfit colors and stuff. So I can accept that they can use those two colors in my lore, definitely. But then the chrome sword, how can I explain that? It doesn't seem like a very Dragon Mastery weapon, considering these guys use the big pole arms and stuff, and the big axes and that. So it's just great. It's just Lego.
I get it. Yeah,
pitching it out of the core in several ways.
Yeah, he is an anomaly. He definitely probably rolls with that group from Dark Forest Fortress.
Yeah.
He got lost, but he was probably escorting that wagon.
I'm going to have to do a mock about that crew because that crew, there's
a whole story.
Their base, every roof will be a different color. That they belong to.
Andrew Auburn says maybe it's a time cruiser in disguise.
Yeah,
there you go. They were kings with just swapping parts and stealing from everybody.
I mean, that lore is just ridden with different rabbit holes and theories and joins. So, yeah, I welcome that. Tell you what else I like about this. The white lanterns are cool. Nice little build. Simple. Headlight in the corner of the corner wall. Mod brick.
I think those are light gray.
Sorry, they're light grey, not white.
But they are a cool build.
I was looking at them against the flag, but really nice little way with that little 1x1 cylinder at the bottom where maybe the oil well to keep it burning is contained or something. Just I love a big story with a few parts is always a winner, isn't it?
I like it. Yeah, that's a good point. I do like that
sophistication about it.
Well, and that's the thing. This is pushing Lego Castle just a little further down the timeline, so you're going to get a little different architecture. And then you're going to maybe see a little more, like you said, sophistication. You see the gargoyles. We're going to see those in the next one, I think. That's a big step in more civilized, right?
For sure.
Civilized era. I also love that the trigger for this this trapdoor is a little plant piece. It's a little green.
Yeah.
You just slide it under and it levels perfectly.
Yeah,
it's just funny though because it's not a super sturdy piece.
Well, that's why probably you would have to put the crenellation just on the one side where the skeleton is if you were going to do your idea. Because I think if you did it on both, I'm not sure it might hold up, but it'd probably sag a bit. So, but yeah, cool.
Let's see what we got here. We got Dragon Masters says this is set connects perfectly height wise to the actual 609s.
I think it was his intention. Castle. And we've seen it in the art just as well that they were together.
Okay. Yeah, it shows it in the art, the little poster earlier. What does this say here? We got Lorem system jumping in. Lots of exposed studs to remind you that this is Lego. Doesn't need to be covered in tiles and slopes. Doesn't need to please anybody but kids. Yep,
cool. Yep. And when they do smooth and tiled, look how stylishly they do that. Look at that brick corner. Yep. It's great. But look at these bad boys. I think some of these might be better than the main build idea. I feel like this symmetrical one in the corner is great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The amount they got out of this build is kind of insane.
Sorry,
The burps help because like this one up in the right hand upper corner, right below the 6078.
Yeah.
I mean, that's built right onto those burps to expand this out into, it looks almost like a port, right? There's a stop out here and everything.
Yeah, it's full thing out front.
They just went all the way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
Amazing.
It's crazy. And they just put that Dragon Master, that flamboyant Dragon Master, just right in the middle, shining his little sword everywhere.
Yeah. I'm here just to confuse you.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed they didn't change him up in any of the ult builds either. He's just him.
Same guy.
He's just like, I am an anomaly and I'm not changing. All these ult builds are really nice.
No, they did change him on this one.
Oh, did they?
Oh, no, they didn't. Oh, well, they changed everything.
Oh, well, I see what they did in this one. Yeah, they
changed the
gray
helmet on. Yeah, he's going all over.
What's going on,
That's just
man?
everybody's.
A Black Knight arresting a Dragon Master with the help of some Royal Knights. That's interesting because he looks a bit Black Knighty with it like that.
Well, you can make these Royal Knights into Black Knights pretty easily because they got that scale mail.
Oh god!
So,
great stuff.
Yeah, fun alt builds. These are pretty nice. We'll keep it moving here. But like, honestly, all three of these are pretty solid.
Yeah, all good. Really I'd like to build them. I think if I was going to build one, though, I'd build that bottom right, the symmetrical one. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Even though I like the port with the dark, that's cool. Yeah, great alt build for this one.
Yeah, Andrew likes them.
Waterside vibes for your Royal Knights. We'll come back to that in a bit.
I will say for this set, and I do have one of my first YouTube videos ever. I have a little video displaying this set. So if you want to take a look at that, it's somewhere on this channel. You can go dig around and find it.
Amazing.
It's just a showcase. It's like a stop motion build of the bridge, and then it's me just showing off all the little play features and stuff. So
oh, sweet.
You can go do that sometime if you need more content to watch. And then with that brings us to the flagship set, the big boy 090. The one and only. This is the Royal Knights Castle.
Wow.
It needs no introduction. This thing is insane.
I think just take 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Soak that in, guys.
The moment of silence here. Just take it in. Soak it all up. Yeah, dude. All the big corner panels, the little ghost house out in front.
I did actually pull it down because I love it that much.
See that,
I'll put that's a bit dusty, but it's much better looking at this picture of it. But I did think I'd just crack it out just because, if you've not seen it in the flesh before, this isn't the best quality to look at it in, but it's a lovely boy. Mm-hmm. It's a chunky boy, nice big base plate, just like having a 32 by 32, then adding a 16, which gives you that nice landscape vibe. If anyone's wondering about the back, you get these nice. The details don't stop. It does tail off a bit, but it does it in a nice way. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I would start my review of the Royal Knights Castle. Is many of our favorite castles do have a little bit of a weak spot because you've got to get your hand in and play with them along the back line or something.
That one has cool window covers, though.
Yeah, this one, they do let you get in and they tail things off a bit, but they do it in a really tasteful way that's in keeping with the architecture. For example, the arches that cascade down on the side, those roofs on the back that you've just mentioned there, tying into the one at the front with either the ghost in or whatever you're going to use it for, a weapon shed, whatever. So it's just play value again through the roof. Such a nice build. Dead enjoyable build. There's like a nice catapult on it as well that you don't always see because everything else hits you first when you look at this picture, but there's actually a lovely catapult at the side for defense. It's just, I think it might just, it's so close between this and Dungeon Masters. I don't want to start that, but it's a lovely set. It's so good.
That's what I was saying. It fights for position, for favorite castle, just because the dynamic of this is so cool. A lot of areas, lots of towers, lots of functions. There's a drawbridge on the side. There's a portcullis. There are the big doors. Lorem says he has no idea how the king gets to the throne. He might have to climb up the wall on the back. That is actually a staircase that's one stud wide. That is literally what it is, though. It is made that way. I think you could see it when you turned yours around.
Let's have another quick look.
You got to give them credit for at least putting it there, even if it's not quite feasible. But you can kind of see it. We're going to pull it up here.
There you go. Through that gap there, if you look at some arches.
It's a supported. It is a staircase that goes up to the king's throne. Yeah. It's just a one stud wide. So
at first I thought it was decorative until I realised no, it's a staircase.
Yeah, it's a well. Yeah, I mean,
just because of where it leaves, and then at the top it turns on itself to make it more accessible. So it's it's a staircase.
That's how it's done.
Lovely though, really lovely. And it's not something I always like about base plates that you didn't get so much on the set models. Was when the bricks come right out to the edge of the base plate, like they do on the little ghost house at the front. When your bricks are right on that outer layer of outside the base plate, it starts to feel like a really sturdy and sizable little project that you're building. And this doesn't do it all over the shop, but it does it in that section. I also like the way that King's Mountain Fortress does that around one of the sides with the inverted 75s. It brings the castle out of on top of the base plate and out to the very end row of studs. And that I just find that a nice touch on some of these castles. And this does it well too. But yeah, sorry, Tricks.
No, he said, my little brother got the Royal Knights Castle for Christmas. I was never more jealous in my life. Yeah,
I'll bet.
That's insane.
The question is, what did you get that Christmas? Or were you out by then?
Yeah, there you go.
Or you might have been out by then, darkened by then, but...
Were you like a Brick Monarch and would just like convince your brother to give it to you?
Yeah, you need to get this, and then I'm going to take that too.
We've got the couple of comments here. Flying buttress staircase from Spacer Nate. Yep, it's exactly what we're talking about. You got to climb up that to get to the king. Actually, it's just a security feature. If you can make it up that one stud staircase, then you can have an audience with the king.
Yeah.
Or it's just easy to kick you off. So maybe it's a defensive method.
This is the Royal Knights Castle.
Yeah. Trick says it's a toss up between this and Dungeon Master Castle.
We're all the same, babe.
We're in the same, unless you just hate the Royal Knights. Where's Michael Sousa Cruz? Drop some hate on the Royal Knights here for me. Unless you just hate them and you just don't like this faction, then it's hard to say that this isn't the best Lego castle.
Most of the very militant kickback that I've heard about this faction is about the design of the lion on the shield, not so much the castle itself.
Lorem system coming in. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said, sorry, I don't know if it came across. I was saying most of the intense criticism I've seen about Royal Knights, if any, is the design of the lion on the shield, not
the actual faction logo. Yeah.
It was a bit cartoony.
Dropping a little hate here. Lorem system saying the king is totally exposed all the time. You know what, man? At least there is a king. None of the other castles had one. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
He likes his view and he's willing to put his life on the line to get... Look at those meadows, wouldn't you? Look, they're glowing. They're literally glowing. So what he's looking out over his beautiful shire there.
You know what's crazy is the King Leo's castle that came after this one. The king sits behind a giant curtain. That's the wall. The back wall of the castle is a sail. So I'm pretty sure this guy's at least out of range. King Leo is waiting to get executed. Like, that's crazy. He's just sitting in his throne with a curtain behind him, just like King Arthur style.
Yeah.
He's about to get cooked.
True that.
None of the Lego castles have really defensive places for kings to hang out. I don't really think of... I mean, I'm trying to think of ones that have thrones in them or like little areas for them to sit. I mean, maybe... Does the Lion Knight's castle even have a throne in it? I don't think it does.
I think, again, there were like a lot of
there you go. No kings.
No kings. It's like a lot of the castle stuff, though. Like, I think we like to talk about interior detail, and it's nice when we got a nod every now and again in a classic run of things. But generally speaking, there wasn't that much going on in castle interiors, and it was almost suggested that now go and get your polybags and fill this up with stuff. It's almost as if... That's the marketing play, isn't it? You get your castle, you pay all that money for the castle, you get all the great stuff, and there's still a reason to get some more. So it's great marketing because you get those little sets, get those extra battle packs, then fill your castle up, and you can put your own throne in there. You can put your own whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what Tricks. Just a shout out to Tricks Bricks. Also, go follow him if you haven't. He's got one of the best YouTube channels.
Incredible.
Time. But that's what he does. So when he does a review of a lot of these things, he'll add those in. He'll add either like a polybag style build or like in the Black Knights, or no, it was the original Black Knights castle before Dungeon Master Castle. How it opens, he added like a stable and like a well.
And he'll do it in keeping with the time of the set that he's doing it, which is really nice as well. He'll use that to parts palettes, so that's ace.
Yeah, so piggybacking on what you said about the same idea, he actually does it, and you get to watch that and then get inspired and like do it with your stuff. So
so go check Trick Bricks' stuff out because Jamie does a great job of all that addition and modification. I'm doing a schooner now, Jamie, and I was watching yours video where you put the second layer on, and I'm thinking, should I do that? But I'm undecided yet. Anyway, we'll save the schooner for another day, AJ.
Well, hey, Pirates is coming up here. I'm juggling in my brain how to do a Pirates show, because like when we used to do our Let's Talk About Lego show with Brick Monarch, we would kind of break it into years because there's just so much of it. But I have a couple ideas. So we will Imperials, Redcoats, all of it's jumping. We're getting there. It will all happen at some point.
All right.
Yes. Gamer Guru says, so sad I sold this castle and all my 80s, 90s castle pirates at a garage sale. Yeah, you probably didn't get that much for them either at a garage sale.
I feel your pain, man.
Never thought 25 years later I'd be back into it. Yeah, a lot of us were kind of in that boat. I never really got into selling off much of it, but there was a time where I wasn't buying much. But I think you feel that. You feel that,
I feel that sentiment that hits home. And what's worse is my mum gave most of mine away, which was lovely. It went to a lovely place of some people who needed it way more than I did at the time. But at the same time, that was a lot of Wolfpack shields, and that was a lot of cool space parts. But it's plastic.
Laura would say, the Junior Ice Castles came later. All right, here we go. We got the response. Trickbrick says, I think I got aerial acrobats. They liked your brother better, man. I hate to break it to you. Your parents had a favorite.
Imagine that, man.
I don't know that my grandparents would just buy you whatever you asked for, but my brother wasn't smart enough not to ask for $100 castle. He was fine. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's They're like, okay.
It was just the way the cookie crumbled. Are you sure you weren't tempted to say, "Oh, I think they got this mixed up"?
Yeah.
Hey man, it was all. If it was anything like me and my brother used to, I was flying the deep freeze defender around as he was putting together the clipper and stuff. So we all got to play with all of it. So that it's all good.
Yeah, my brother and I, our collections were mixed. Actually, I still have pretty much all of his stuff. It's just now. But it was all.
You're taking care of that. Because I know that you two invested together for quite a bit of stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, we spent
even later.
We split. Yeah, we would split like eBay lots and stuff like that.
That's great.
Never noticed the gargoyle, or love the gargoyles. Never noticed these before. Black Falcon Micah says, "Yeah, dude, those little gargoyles."
It's a really nice little build. They're like it's just like a plate with a with a hole, then a one round stud in it, and then one of these nice angled. This gray's a bit dirty, sorry, and then a 2x1 by.
It looks like that skeleton turtle from the Mario game.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? I like turtles. It's a cool. It's a cool small way to do it, but then it's consistent. They do it all the way around the castle. You get 4 of those, and then 4 more smaller versions on the high tower.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm still laughing about that stupid meme.
I like turtles. I couldn't help myself. See a turtle, I'll think of that meme.
It's good stuff, man. Okay. Real quick here. I mean, I guess we're just gonna keep going. Last the Wolfpack stream was almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, so that's not necessarily what it'd be like every week, but the Wolfpack is a bit of a special.
Buckle in, guys, because we're still talking about this. Someone pointed out the staircase on the side. Who was that in the comments? Man, it was back there.
The base plate staircase.
Yeah, but the hidden staircase. Someone said that, and now I don't remember who it was, but it was in the comments. They basically were saying you can't understate how good of a play feature the hidden staircase is. And that's really totally true. And we were even glazing it before we got to this one, talking about how good the base plate was. But the hidden staircase on the side, top in my top 5 play features of all time. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Which is funny because all it is just a hinge plate,
but it matches up so well. Like with the vacuum formed plastic shapes and dimensions, there's this idea of how they interact with the system parts. So the obvious example is that the 75 inverted slope fits nicely up the sides of the vacuum formed raised base plates. But this new stair element, you pop a little hinged hatch on the top of that, and then you got a whole new interaction with the base plate and the bricks. It's I don't know. Once you build it and have a little look and go, oh, that's cool, and you walk a minifig up, you realise it's quite a nice play feature.
It's beautiful.
And you'd rather have it than not have it.
It tickles the brain the same way the curved staircase on the Paradisa base plate with the pool in front, and like the Pharaoh's Surprise or whatever it's called, from the Johnny Thunder set. That those like 4 little steps on the top, that are curved, that go up to the second area of that base plate. The same thing. Every time I saw that as a kid, I was like, my brain would just like start like building scenarios of like little arched doorways that would lead into interior areas. Cool little staircase, man.
Rebuild the different ways and different. It's really cool. A nice risk from Lego as well, because obviously, with vacuum formed plastic, and we know how fragile these base plates can be because of the amount of broken ones that are on the aftermarket when you're looking for a good one. This one particularly difficult to find in good condition, and if you do, be prepared to pay. Because it's quite expensive. But again, a nice risk from Lego, because with vacuum formed plastic, the more areas and angles and different stuff there is going on, the more chances something could go wrong in the quality control perspective. So a whole set of stairs on the side, it's crazy that they did it, but they did it, and it's meant. And I'm really glad they did this base plate.
Yeah, it is. It's a very intricate base plate, and it also is interesting because it doesn't have as deep of a well like cut into the middle of it as the standard square base plates from like Rock Island Refuge and all that. It's got a shallow one though that holds the skeleton on a hinged plate. So if you get through the doors and you get through the gate, there's a little mechanism that triggers a skeleton that literally flies up through the floor. It's great, dude.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, that's a play feature. Of course, you get the working catapult, the drawbridge, the gate. All of those are play features. These little areas, there's a treasure chest in the alcove on the top. I think those hinge open.
Yes,
there's string. Is this one of the ones where the string is just connected to the little
modified plate, and you put it wherever you want to put it and latch it on, which is fair play if you again play. It's nice, simple's good sometimes, but there is string elements on both the raising portcullis and the drawbridge on the side as well. So there's a lot going on, and it's very dynamic. Lots of lovely pieces. You get 4 or 5 of those lovely angled panels. You've got this new style of printed panel with the columns on. And I always like the effort to continue that pattern in the middle with that extra 2 arches in the octagon. So that's a really good touch.
I like that too.
If you're looking to build this up and you get a hold of the base plate, but you don't have much else, it's a bit of a challenge because you've got some new parts here for the Royal Knights, and mostly comes down to the most obvious one you go for is the angled panels. But what people tend to overlook is how difficult those octagon pieces are to get in light grey and to get good, decent quality ones. Anything you find cheap will likely be dirty, although you can get lucky. So don't listen to what I'm saying, really. But you could also stack up 2 or 3 or 4 2x2 rounds in grey and achieve. You finish the top off the same way as this and achieve much the same feel. So it's not a deal breaker.
But it's also fairly parts heavy for the time. 743 pieces, and most of those are kind of unique. So there's a lot of. I think it maybe besides the yellow Tudor panels, it might be easier potentially to build out the black. The Dungeon Master's Castle. Maybe. I don't know, because then if you start looking at figs, then you're really in deep with the money, because the figures, each one comes with actually a significant amount of minifigures. Let's see. I want to pull up a couple comments, then we'll move to the next slide here.
For sure.
Michael D'Souza Cruz basically got the opposite story that a lot of AFOLs have. I remember telling my mom to get rid of all my Legos and toys when I went to college, but she ended up saving them for my kids.
Amazing. That's ace.
I won't let them touch them now. Yeah. Hey, man. Most of the people I talk to, they tell me the same story over and over again. It's like when I went away to college, my parents sold all my Lego or gave them to Goodwill, or worse, threw them away. But like, that's like funny. That's a reverse Uno card there. Lorem system is. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Lorem.
I was just gonna read this.
Go for it.
Is the part with the doors? Is the front part with the door
to take a dump
or a broom closet? It's the ghost closet.
You can take a dump in there, but you won't be on your own.
It'll be
ghostly.
It's a haunted dump.
Yeah. That's
you don't want to. I think in the instructions, if not the instructions, then at least in some of the imagery, the ghost goes in there. I'm pretty sure he goes in there in the instructions.
He's in there on mine. So he's definitely, I think he is from the instructions. There's other pictures of it with him in there as well.
Yeah. I think he might be the Black Monarch's ghost, the ghost of him. They just kept him around.
Yeah. Well, again, more lore fodder. Lots of lore fodder around the Royal Knights, which is always good for a mock. Again, and this is, we center around mocks. We bring it to mocks. And what this gives is, just like the rest of everything we've seen tonight with Royal Knights, is loads of lovely mock fuel. There's, as if these builds weren't good enough as on their own, they give you so much more as well. So it's hard to justify the critique for Royal Knights, although I do understand that the lion is a little bit cartoonish. I like it, but it is a little bit. You'll have a boo-poo in the haunted dump, says Michael D'Souza Cruz. Yep, that's where you go for a boo-poo.
Yep. They say that, I don't know, they call it the teddy bear knights or whatever. They look like the lion. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen authentic medieval heraldry.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have like chickens on their shields.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And have you seen medieval drawings of animals?
Yeah.
This is a pretty clean artwork.
They're a little bit rudimentary
to some of the stuff that actually came out of the medieval times.
Yeah.
Well, I've never considered this to be like a juniorized looking lion. Or even like goofy looking to me. I don't know, but maybe that's because I grew up with this. I saw this type of stuff first, and then I saw some catalogs from the 80s, 90s, like early 90s and late 80s, and I was like, oh, there's other heraldry. I mean, the rampant lion, I think objectively is cooler. I don't think that you can say that this is better. I don't think it's better at all.
It's just different flavor for the English.
Yeah.
It's even if it is true of the design, even if it whatever, we only have to flick back to that image that we looked at before with all of its gothic glory, with the Dragon Masters and the almost nearly as dark a tone as the Fright Knights, to see that it's not super kiddie and the context that they're in isn't super kiddie. Even if that little teddy bear lion is, but I don't think. I'm just saying. I don't think it's a teddy bear lion. I'm just saying. I'm aware of it too.
I get it.
The more I look at it, the more. No, I'm happy with it.
I never had
this one to the one that came after. So.
I have piles of these shields. I'm going to buy more. I will one day create a whole Royal Knights Army mock. And I don't
appreciate it, Michael D'Souza Cruz. He says, I may not like the Royal Knights, but I do like you two talking about the Royal Knights. Well, that's all we can ask, mate. Appreciate that, pal. Thank you.
Coming in here, Sasban KC says Ghost and Chrome parts are so good. You're not wrong. They are some of the best things ever.
Perfect.
I will say also the extent, and we talked about this a little bit before we jumped in. It was like I think it was Dark Forest when we were talking about them. We brought the Royal Knights in and talked a bit about them as well. And the amount you get for faction building and like army building in Royal Knights is crazy, with the red torso with the shield, the white torso with the shield, and and as if this wasn't enough, they integrate in the scale mail torso and a new king print torso. Yeah. So as far as fully fleshed out, developed faction wise, this is at the top of Lego Castle. I don't know that there's another faction that has this much attention given to it.
Look at the amount of shields on the picture in front of you. It's ridiculous. It's so cool. It's
and you
such
can
great castle.
And that also bleeds directly into creating custom figs, custom mocks, custom factions, because you have all these like the white, the red, even the king torso. Like that really opens the whole thing up for different color combos that look nice. I love you. One of my favorite things to do is this white one, the archer, because there's like the men at arms and the knights.
Yeah.
The men at arms are like the little scale guys. The knights seem to be like the swordsmen seem to be like with the red. Sort of, and then you got the white ones. I think always have arrows.
Yes,
I think they're always the archers.
They're always archers.
I love that torso with a brown forestman hat.
Yeah,
something about it. I just really like adding
some great use of inversion. We've got red trousers on the top on the guys with blue on the tops, blue trousers on the guys with red on the tops. We've got some lovely inversions to give you a lot to do with the figures, whether you're building it as per the instructions or getting your mock or your alt build on. So yeah, just it comes with so much. 2 cloth flags again. Yeah.
Saspan says it's like adjacent to the canceled Europa theme as well. Actually, this base plate is a hybrid kind of one of those canceled base plates. If you look at some of them, it's very much in line with some of that stuff, and you can kind of see. I think you're right that they probably took inspiration from that.
I agree. Yeah. Well, they did.
Knight.
They did take inspiration from the space prototypes for some of the space factions that came. So there's no reason to believe it wouldn't be similar in Castle. So that's a good point. Yeah.
You're talking about like the red helmet used with the black visor. I like that because like in the middle again. I mean, I draw a lot of like my love for some of this stuff is not necessarily how accurate it is to actual castle stuff, but like. Some of the Hollywood movies of like the knights and then looking at these old books, like someone mentioned in the comments earlier, with all of the heraldry and all the jousting knights and stuff. A lot of them had helmets that were different colors. They had them painted and stuff like that. So I don't mind it. Again, for me, it just it mixes it up. And it adds like a new. It doesn't look out of. I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't look out of place to me.
No, it's cool. I love that. And what I love to do is grab one of your white archer boys with the blue arms, shove a blue helmet and a black visor on, and have an alternative knight in a different color scheme. I've done that as well. I really like to do that with this faction. Yeah, in fact, I've done that with a lot of castle factions that. Like the trefoils and the green chevrons. I've got a couple of chevrons with a green helmet and a black visor like that. Because even though it's a bit bold and a bit unrealistic, it's Lego Castle and it kind of fits the bill for Lego Castle design. So it's just cool to see. So no, I'm with you there, dude.
With regards to Andrew Auburn just coming in with a random collection question, how many with regards to chrome pieces? How many Armada I'm reading this all wrong. Armada.
With regards to the chrome pieces, how many chrome armor pieces do you guys own? Just curious because they're so expensive. Do you want to go first, Jason?
No, I was getting caught on the Armada.
I know, the tongue twister.
Man, I mean, you're right. I think I only have what would have come with Armada guys. If I'm lucky, I have 3, I think. And that's maybe more, but I would 3 is probably max. 3, I don't actually know off the top of my head, but I would have up to 3, I'm sure. But not that many, man. I mean, that's a piece I don't have a ton of.
It is a really rare piece. I've got 1 and it's really scratched. What I do have and I found someone on eBay that was selling chromed legitimate Lego pieces, armor pieces, but they'd been chromed. So if you look at this piece, it actually says Lego inside engraved, and it's chrome, but it's not the shape of the breastplate. It's the shape of the traditional castle armor. So I've got about 10 of those, and I use those for my Armada just to get that reflective look out of them.
That was cool.
And it's the best I can do because I just cannot see myself dropping 400 or 500 quid to get 10 Armada breastplates. And that's even if you could get them, if you were willing to pay the price is one thing, but can you find them? So I whack one of those on a guy with a plain torso of one of the sort of Armada colors. And then with that helmet, and then I gave them the new sword, the fencing sword from the Musketeers, and so those kind of become what I use those. I use these with the original Armada torsos, just as extra soldiers, and I find that kind of works kind of well for them. It's not as good as the breastplate, but it's a good makeshift.
Yeah, I actually like that quite a bit. Looks. Michael says, "Yeah, it looks nice." And
they do look nice, and if you look inside, they still say Lego. And so I don't know whether someone's chroming Lego parts and selling them. I'm not sure what's going on because I had a big look to see if Lego ever made that in chrome in any shop or anything, and it said no. So
no. But they did include a chrome baseplate.
Chrome base plates is what we need in Lego. I want this baseplate, chrome gold.
Chrometron.
This in the Dungeon Master's Castle would be good to get. Every piece is chrome, so it's just like the best chrome Lego castle ever in pure gold. Sorry, what were you going to say, mate?
No, I was going to read this. I was not into Lego when this was out. Deep into my dark ages, missed out on this one. Great army building here. Yeah, we were just talking about the army building. So, also, last thing, and then we'll move on to some more slides. This was this might be, I think this is in my, I love all Bardings. I was going to say like top like 3 Bardings, but like it's up there. This one, I really, really like the design of this Barding.
Yeah, it's good.
But I guess if you didn't like the lion, then you wouldn't like the Barding because it's got the lion head right on.
You've got an even bigger lion on there. You can get that as a sticker from Brick Sticker Shop as well. If anyone's struggling to collect these, they can be hard to get. I'll just give them a shout out. You can get stickers for that onto a red Barding of some sort. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. What was this? He said something about a comment he dropped earlier. The chrome crowns for this king is unique. It was disconnect. Oh, he was disconnected.
New for this role, wasn't it?
It was new for this. This crown lacks the ribs on the inside. Oh, so you're saying there was a different mold later? Because the crown itself, is it just on this castle or is it just in this wave of sets? Because this crown has shown up a few times in a couple different places.
Yeah, you can get it in pearl gold and stuff, can't you? But I don't know. This one is bound to be a little different, the original one. Is
it just the chromed version that's different?
So what am I looking for inside? I've got one here. What has it got the extra rim?
2 different molds.
Yeah.
Just this release. Okay. So because I think, is it still available? The crown, it was showing up in like Castle Fantasy era and like some other stuff. So I don't know if it's still being made, but it was in different colors, not chrome anymore. So the chrome one, it sounds like he's saying the chrome one has its own mold.
Yeah.
So here's the alt builds for this one. We'll just look over these real quick. They're fine. They're not incredibly crazy. It's funny because like some of the smaller ones we looked at, I think look better.
Yeah.
These are okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not. It's not quite as good. It's almost a bit.
I like the tower.
That tower reminds me of one of your Time Twisters mocks.
Yeah. I like the tower. I like that they built a brick built dragon, even though it's kind of trash.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it in the smaller ones. The castle that brick built dragon's next to is okay looking.
Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That looks a bit like that other prototype castle with it look like dragon masters and there's loads of red. It looks a bit like that. Yes, that is nice. I don't mind the crane. I like to see. It always just reminds me of the early idea book with the crane, but it's still a brick window panel.
Yeah, it just looks like a head with a long nose with those.
But on this one, it's got like a bit more of a ridiculous look.
It looks like an owl.
Yes, it does look like
I don't know if they could have built that differently, but something about it just kind of looks like a big owl.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit
I like the concept of the crane. I'm with you there. It's actually very similar to
it always reminds me of that old one, which was executed, I think, a bit better than this. This one's mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spacer Nate says the same thing.
Yeah.
It always looks like an owl to him, too.
Yeah, these are a bit funky. These are a bit meh. But the most interesting one, ironically, the one I can't see very well with the dragon that you pointed out, mate.
Yeah, the small, tiny little one, the smallest picture. I don't mind the one right above it too much either. I like that they, are playing with the parts by turning the game sideways.
That's cool. That's
kind of fun. Like I guess that could be a pretty cool idea. But overall, these are fine.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're just a good hour 20 in, but I've only done 2 mocks for this, or 2 set designs, I should say. I've only done two of those for Royal Knights. I thought I had a couple more, but I only have 2. So we're gonna pull those up here, and then I think I'll have you drop your slides in as well.
Just give me the nod when you want me to do that.
Made enough room, so let me drop these in first. Or actually, no, you can drop yours in whenever.
Okay,
yep, whenever you have time.
Well,
so I'm gonna pull this one in. This was the first one I did here, and it's fairly small. But this is the Royal Knights Treasure Stash. And there are instructions available for actually both of these. I'll show you my second one as well. But yeah, so I built a little wagon here. I tried to, keep it pretty similar to the Royal Knights and what you get. And then there is a interior here where you can pull this burp off the front. You see that little hook on there. You can put a chain on that and pull it open, and it'll get into the safe, right? The storage area for all the gold and jewels. And there's also an opening panel on the wall here with that little foliage piece there.
Oh,
so they can sneak into the side there as well if you want to have them come in and get a hold of that. And then I did my own variation of the gargoyles here, just kind of, if you could see that on the front.
With the grey clip and the mod plate we talked about earlier. It's lovely. Like the rock on the side as well with the plant piece. I like your protagonist, antagonist, whoever it's going to be in this context. I suppose he's the Royal Knights, however you want to look at them. But I like your forest guy coming around the corner.
Mm-hmm. You got a rod
next to that brown branch, tying the environment into it a little bit. And you've actually done what we talked about earlier, which is interesting. We talked about if you couldn't get your hands on so many of the octagon parts, you could always use some 2x2 rounds. And lo and behold, you've pulled that off really nicely here as well. I like
on the top there.
Yeah, I like the inverted 75 on the way up as well. Gives it all that in keeping with that Royal Knights character. Again, though, much with a lot of these builds and with some of the old back of the box builds we've looked from Lego, the cart's really nice, man. Really nice little cart.
And it opens. It's kind of a funky one, but the back you can open the back, but you can also open it so it opens sideways, so you can pull that treasure chest directly out the top there. Little carts are fun. You got to always have these little carts. They're kind of an annoying thing to build if you do a lot of these, but you realize a lot of these sets will come with some sort
they will, so it's good to pay it homage, and I like that you don't skip that. That's great. And this one, again, I like the way the long shield slips in between the 2 wheels, your favorite wheels. And also I like the little 1x1 bracket that you've used on the horse. That's cool. Unless is it headlights with a one?
There's just headlights.
That's nice.
It's a headlight brick with that.
It's just that it wraps around,
it's just it's an embellishment that's unnecessary, but it does add a little more dynamic to that. I guess it does take away from the classic look of just the 2x or the 1x2, but
no, it's something new, but it still looks Lego system-y, and Magisto's Tower vibes. I agree, Michael. It has got a bit of that vibe about it. I actually kind of prefer the composition here. I think it makes more sense. Really nice slide. Is it a sliding burp? Are we hinging out?
No, it's just detachable.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Just on tile.
Secret.
It's got like a tile groove kind of setup, so it will set nicely. But you can.
That's nice, man. I'd be interested to see the. I'll have to build this one at some point because the PDF instructions are available. Because I'd like to see the back, because I know I can see a little grey fence end coming off that's just piquing my interest just behind those panels.
I should have. I probably should have.
Well, no, it's an older one, isn't it?
I might actually have. If you just
of course,
I might actually have the back.
Yeah, well, you look for that, and we'll just have a quick look at what we've got here.
I was trying not to bog down all of the images.
No, that's fine. I totally understand that. It's just this particular one. I do quite like the idea of the back, and I think the more you look at this one, the more detail. If you look at the black wall on the outside by the doors, you'll see lots of headlight and tile texture, or studs on side and tile texture. Important to note that they give a little bit of a difference the tiles stick out a bit less with the headlight and a bit more with the stud on side. So the fact that you used both of those to give some different texture as well as the printed panels is really nice.
Sure,
Loads to really like about this one, all whilst being very in keeping with the Royal Knights, including the flag colours. So yeah, well done, man.
Yeah, I was trying to integrate a lot of that in there and see if I could, keep it.
Yeah,
keep it going.
Like the just that blank black background with the shield in front's lovely as well. Very impactful, draws your eye. Not too much distraction around. It's just there's the shield in that little arch.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, have you got one for us then?
Let's see what happens. See if it.
Fab! Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I like
go.
that. Just the little angled roof broken open there, breaking that forth. Another barred window as well. Oh, I'm glad you got this, Jason. It looks really cool from this angle as well.
There we go. Yeah, I was able to find it. It's not like it's just on a transparent background, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's great. It tells us what we need to know.
The size, Andrew. Yeah, mid-size to smaller mock. It's still got like a decent. It's always funny because these look small, and then you look at the minifigs next to them, and it's like actually, it's actually a decent.
It's quite big, yeah.
But yeah, you still don't actually see the interior or the inside of that the burp on the front. But there's like a whole little like area with jewels and like treasure that's stuck to that. So.
Any skeletons in there, or just the ghost in this one?
Just the ghost in the top.
That makes sense. If it was a Lego set, they wouldn't give you both, would they?
I threw probably too many figs already into it, so
I was going to say, yeah. Although the carriage did come with about this many figs, so
that's true. Yeah,
not good.
So that one's that. I'm going to put this one back on here. The horse is like, where did he go? Oh, where did that comment go?
About to go off the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, he was basically saying the horse was. Where did it go? My Lorem's system was basically like, oh, here it is. Yeah, the horse is like, F this route. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. I'm glad you guys like it. It was fun. I have a whole bunch of more builds I want to do for the Royal Knights. So we'll try to get. I'll try to get onto those at some point. I mean, I'd love to do that. So
I'd love to see him.
Yeah. Let me.
I've built the Knights for a while.
Yeah, have you built much with Royal Knights? You did a little bit. Yeah,
I've got this castle. I've got a couple of mocks, but not much in real life yet. It's another faction that I've stockpiled the parts for and gone mocks to be done, and it's in the pile with everything else. Like I say, I'm schoonering at the moment, so on the schooner. This is a lovely one. So and again, instructions available.
Yeah, which is crazy because this one, I don't know. I'm so slow with putting any kind of instructions out for anything, but this one was a little complex to do instructions for. There's a lot going on here, and it took a while to build these ones, but they are available. So that is something you guys can get a hold of if you are interested in doing that. But yeah, Royal Knights stables here. And it's really an inn. It's an inn with stables, below it. But so this is the and so this is again. I mean, this is a concept that expands, the lore where the Royal Knights might be reigning or their kingdom. Yeah. Like, what would this look like? It's basically like guarded knight or guarded inn for the Royal Knights.
Yeah.
So you have like an outside dining area. You've got the barrel of ale on the roof with pipes piping it directly down to the people there. There's
love those yellow pipes. Such a good
So and then here's a good example of using modern pieces on a classic mock, right? Because these are very much modern parts for the pipes and stuff. And you could probably do those with the 1x1 circles and stuff, but I just like to look at this, so I kept it.
Well, I think it's a newer part. So is the curved window bit a little. Oh no, that did come out 95 actually for the Armada. Okay, your pipes are a newer part, but look how much they suit the old style. I think it's one thing to use a new part, but if it still checks as being quite in keeping with the vintage style, especially with it being a primary color, it's matching those panels and stuff. Right. It just kind of fits. It fits alongside that old lattice gate that's old.
Right.
It works with everything, so it helps tie it all together, bringing the old to the new a bit.
Thanks.
Is the wheel in yellow? I've not seen that wheel in yellow before.
It ought to be. This was well into my commitment to only include parts.
So it definitely does exist. It just might be a
should
little
exist
bit of a
in
rare
yellow.
one.
What I
That's
will
cool.
say is it could be a rare color to get it in yellow. I don't know though. I don't think those are very expensive pieces.
No, they're not normally. I don't remember seeing it much in yellow on my searches, but no, I'll have a little look. That's cool. I like it though. No, I like the setup. I like your incorporation of the big panel. I mean, yes, but speak on it. What?
Yeah, our Andrew, I think guarded in sign use. Yeah, I mean, again, then this is when it comes down to, and I always try to reiterate this whenever we're talking about custom designs, instructions, and you look at the price for the set, and you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to get that because that's going to take me. It's $250 to build this. It's like, okay, well, take the minifigs out of the picture, put your own in. Don't worry about that. So that drops like $100 off the price instantly.
Yeah.
That flag drops $40 off the price. Like, put in your own flag or put in a different flag or just a blank one, even just to have a little signboard there. So like there's things you can do that if you still want to build it, change out some colors, change out some figs, you know, and you can really get this thing going. So yes, I use the guarded in flag because it makes sense. It's an inn, it's a stable, it's a place to stay and have food and stuff. So it does make sense, but those are expensive. Also, I'm guessing Brick Sticker Shop probably has this, huh? I wouldn't be surprised.
They do have that one, and you can get it in a holographic one as well that looks really nice and shiny.
So get a sticker, you know.
But there is ways around it. And again, with the octagons, you can use your 2x2 round in light grey. That's quite a common piece. Or there is also the sort of pillared piece. This is a dark grey one, but it's like a 2x2 high piece. And you can get away with using them as well, but you do lose a bit of the shape. It's nice to keep that cylindrical thing in. So there's way. I think what Jason says, there's ways around it if you haven't got the exact pieces. And I know this as someone who's tried to build a lot of Jason's stuff, and not necessarily always had the pieces. They are quite friendly to improvisation.
It's basically thanks, Trix. I appreciate it. You said love this. All the scenery's on point as well. We got to keep the vibes right.
Yeah, color schemes are great as well.
I think really what it comes down to is ideally, right? Like, okay, if you have all the parts, this is the ideal, like 100% look of what it could look like if you have everything. But you know, that's like there's a difference between perfect and ideal and then like reality. It's like if some of your pillars are a different color or whatever it is, right? I mean, the problem with this build in particular, I'll tell you, is probably these black fence pieces that keep the horses in down here. Those are gate pieces, right? So they're mostly they're easier to get a hold of in red.
They're hard.
Black ones are pretty tricky to get a hold of. So stuff like that, you might have to improvise. You could even, though, I mean, to get the aesthetic, you could even take these hinging gate pieces out, the fence lattice pieces, and put in, just clip in normal sized gate parts in front of those stables to indicate the fence along the front, and then just move them if you wanted to have one open or something like that. So easy fix it, right? So stuff like that, you know, don't let necessarily the price of parts or the rarity of something that I've put together dissuade you from wanting to build something like that. So, or getting the instructions and building it yourself.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's see. We got Lorem System says you can use vintage parts with new parts and keep the old design language. That's really exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, Lorem.
If they come in white, you can dye them. I know you're good at that. I've seen some of the stuff you've been working on. So yeah, that is a potential
that's really cool
fix for that as well. Yeah. Dyeing them could work. So this is the Royal Knight Stables, man.
Just a quick question on that then, Lorem, if you could get back in the chat when you can. Does it have to be a pristine white piece, or can you dye something that's gone off-white, a vibrant colour, and then give it another life as a different colour? That's my question to you on that front.
That's a good question.
I'll leave that open.
I know you can do the treatment, the hydrogen peroxide treatment on the white parts. I still haven't heard definitively if that's a long-term solution or if it affects the parts in any way brittle-wise, or if it makes the fading come back. Like when it comes back, does it come back worse? So yes, that is a good question. I think was it Andrew Auburn? Did you do a lot of the white,
peroxide for future
peroxide treatments? Yeah, those are good questions to have in the community for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's always good
let's
to
see.
confer on that stuff.
Lorem says yes, you
Okay.
can. If they come in white, you can dye them. Oh, you already said that. And
So
then
even if it's rubbish white, I wouldn't do the treatment to whiten it. Negatively impacts the plastic and it comes back. There you go then. And if Lauren's been dyeing stuff, then he'll know, won't he? So.
Probably. All right. Well, let's wrap this up on my mocks, and then we're gonna jump into a couple of things with yours, and then we're gonna wrap up the whole show. So this is kind of the back. You have two little cots above the stables for like the poorer folk, and then you have a suite, a luxury, a honeymoon suite up top here with a nice bed, and there's actually a little cabinet with a mirror and everything. You can't really see it; the door's in the way here, but. That's the upper room, so that's the spendy room. And then there's a dining area down at the bottom, and then the room directly below the ale keg is actually the kitchen. And there's a little chef in there, and there's a little stove and everything, and he's making all the food. So
it's amazing. Some of the details on this are remarkable. The way that the ale keg is housed by those clips holding the bar unit in yellow. Another great piece for Aquazone there as well. There's just loads. It's brilliant. It's a really. I think this would be worthwhile grabbing from your shop for sure. This is a great set. And again, I don't think there's anything too unobtainable apart from what we've already discussed. I like all the different, space for multiple horses.
There's a lot of horse poo down there.
Guys shoveling the horse poo, and then they've got the. I think have you also got the sort of checkered floor vibe going on in that where the maiden is in the bottom right picture? That's. I don't know if it's a checkered floor.
There's a little bit of stone tile in there.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You've got a nice distinction. Nice distinction between different areas.
Yeah.
I do like the little dark rooms with the two red beds. They're quite medieval in tone, aren't they? Just dark little rooms to get your head.
There's little lamps. There's little lamps above them
and all the balconies. And I need to get myself some of these blue goblets. I don't think I've got many blue goblets.
I love all the colored goblets. There's the red ones, the blue ones.
I always collect weird colors. I've got loads of those, but I've not got many blue, and I keep seeing them blue. I want to get some.
Well, here's the other thing. There's a little innkeeper with a brown apron on from the blacksmith shop. Switch that to black, and you save yourself $30.
Yeah. I might not follow you down that. And the green saddle as well.
That's she's up there. And then you got the awesome build, Jason. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so that's a fun one I wanted to show. So those are two like expansion sets. You could do the Royal Knights treasure stash, and you could do the Royal Knights stables and add those to the Royal Knights layout. And you've really got a whole kind of Royal Knights kingdom being developed at this point. So, yeah, man. Take a look at the instructions if you want to put these together. And let's jump into this thing. This is almost the size of the Royal Knights castle.
Pretty much. It basically is the Royal Knights Castle, but I've observed a little bit of the water lore at the side. Now, first of all, again, this is this is from when I'm not long into my studio ventures a couple of years ago. So on my old machine, the capacity to render at a high quality just wasn't there. So my first apology is that it's a little bit unclear compared to the incredible quality of the Brickstock renders. However, it is clear enough for us just to observe a few details. So, this is me kind of doing my take on the Royal Knights. I've a couple of little nods to the gargoyle. I used a frog on the top. I don't even know if that exists in medium stone grey, but I used that just as an idea of something else we could use for a gargoyle. Maybe, and a couple of parrots for gargoyles as well, just to have something sculpted. Although now there is a gargoyle piece, so I don't think that had quite come out yet.
Actually,
I did like that I used the.
Oh, I was just going to say
that would be better.
That would be cool for a Royal Knights. The new gargoyle piece would be great for some neo-classic Royal Knights. Sorry.
Well, I've got some of them and I wanted to do something a bit more like this with a more slight. It's still not modern building, but it's a few new parts and stuff, just to update it a little bit. So I think I've got a few of those new gargoyles just to do that when I get a chance. But what I like, my favorite bit about this that I did was use the white octagon for the little canopy over the little dock and the water bit at the side, just because we get the white flags and the white lances, and I like that little bit of high class regal sort of value that the white brings. So I use that a bit, and I also used it as my colour color of blossom in the tree work as well, just to get that white in there. And you can see my blue knights that I was talking about before. I've got these guys with the blue helmets and the white top. I've got those in here now. One thing I don't like that I did with this that I probably won't do again is using the 2x2 round tiles on the roofs as texture. I think it kind of works all right in Pirates because it almost gives like a barnacle sort of vibe, but I don't think it works very well in Castle. But again, I'd just got on Studio a few months and I was just kind of getting excited, and that's what this is really.
I don't hate the rounds. I think it looks kind of cool.
I don't hate them. From a distance, you squint, it looks cool, but then sometimes I just look at it and think it makes no sense at all. But again, it's just a different technique.
I like the lantern hanging here. Again, you may have used an incorrect color for it, but I like the way that it has the circular thing on the bottom of it. It's a fun little lantern hanging in the left side of the photo there.
Yeah.
I like the gazebo. Someone else pointed that out already. A really actually quite a fun little gazebo there. Oh, you can't. Oh, I guess it's here. You can see it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just a bit more obscured there. No, okay. So basically, I got a bit carried away with this, Mark. There's an additional part with a big crane on. There's like an idea book vibe. So I thought this was like the picture of it all on an angle. I was trying to get like a dynamic render. In the end, I thought it was a bit OTT, and I thought, well, I'll save that for a different one. But you can see enough just to see the counterweight on the boom arm there, which is just a big dark grey stone boulder.
I like
that aspect. But this does give you a little bit of a different view of the castle. It's just maybe a little bit busy.
It's a beefy crane. I like those. I like Lego cranes are fun. Well, maybe they're kind of hard to build sometimes, but they're fun. They look cool. I like to see everybody's different interpretations of them. I've done probably 12 or 14 different ones at this point. But it's always fun to like kind of mix it up and try to.
Well, my idea was that like if these guys are all got chrome swords and beautiful bits, so they obviously got a bit of wealth. So I thought I'd have a real chunky crane, but and a raft
heavy,
as well.
Big heavy the chest like super heavy gold laden chests. Yeah. I like it. I like that. Let me see a couple of things I was going to point out. I like the use of the stone the stone parrots and like rats. So all the animals you've put in different gray colors as the gargoyles is really fun.
That's what I tried to do.
That tree on the side with the little elephant trunks.
Yes, the white ones.
I really like the look of that. That's pretty nice.
I've got a bag of them ready for woodsman.
Yeah. The using white as a tree bark is pretty cool, and it's fairly accurate. There are a few trees.
Silver birch, isn't it? Essentially,
birch. Yeah.
So the main considerations you need to have is just
alder trees as well.
Yeah,
we have so many alder trees out where I live, and they're all pretty. They're a little spotted looking, but they're pretty white. Yeah, the bark is fairly light, so it works well, and it adds like a nice contrast against the black walls and stone and stuff like that. So I'm digging it, man. It's a pretty cool.
So I went a bit ham on the texture, maybe a bit over the top, but that's what this would look like if you did it anyway, for what that's worth.
And
just
this would be fun to see in real life, huh? That'd be quite an epic build.
I'll make it. I've got it. I've got the IO file somewhere on a USB pen. So this
might take a little tweaking.
I'll fix some stuff. I'll fix some stuff, and I'll collect some new parts. I hope they've got the frog in grey, but I don't think it is. The frog would be great in grey, but the rat is. I think the rat is, isn't it?
Someone might be able to tell you. Andrew might know, or even
I'll figure it out.
If the frog is in gray. But they also keep coming out with colors of that frog. He keeps showing up in new colors. I think they have they got like a chrome, or not a chrome, but like a pearl gold.
Well, you're right, man. Yeah, I think a lot of the approach with a lot of this stuff is just sit tight and wait, because eventually they'll drop the thing you're after. There's been a few of them that have happened to me where I remember there was something I really pined for 2 years ago but didn't exist, and I'll be searching for something else. I'm like, one of those came out finally, and then there's your aerial picture again.
Yeah.
So that's my little sort of neoclassic solution.
Perfect.
To
I love it, man.
To a Royal Knights mock. So I'll get something whipped up in real life for this. And then I just thought I'd just do a quick snap of this. This was the King Leo torso and and legs, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
that also carried the same emblem. So I just made some blue knights for the Royal Knights with this, and I thought they looked kind of cool. I quite like the way they look. I thought I'd just proper mention.
If you're not, no, that's I
you
like
either
that.
love it or hate it. If you don't like the lion, you're going to hate this.
Well,
but
I
if
was
you do
going
like
to
the lion,
say,
you won't mind.
totally. But also, if you're not sold on King Leo's heraldry, but want to add more, factions or torsos into your older Lion Knights or Royal Knights, then this is actually a nice solution. Also, a lot of these the Knights Kingdom 1 belts, the little hip pieces, a lot of them had printed belts with like jewels and stuff in them, which is pretty cool. I will say, here, let me pull you up on the screen, and while I'm talking, I will say, the Knights Kingdom 1 version of this heraldry is much more, in my opinion, much more garbage with the X behind it. The weird, like, kind of tan, like, it's like a tan, it's like blue with a tan kind of yellowish tan X, and then the lion head. Not a good layout. Doesn't look great.
I'm not dead keen.
But
again, I never know how much of that is biased, though, because if that shield came out in 1991, would I just feel the same about that as I do the Wolfpack? Is it nostalgia, or is it that the designs were better? I'm not sure. I think it might be that the designs were better, but who knows? Who knows where our biases lie?
Yeah. So it says it looks like Trick says it does in dark and light gray. Look at that.
So I get a bag of them in, and they'll make nice goggles.
In new, of course, I'm assuming it would be, it would have to be dark bluish and light bluish gray, because they didn't have the frog back in the old gray days. But
no.
Let's see, what is it? Look, that looks a lot better with the blue as the dominant color. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Royal Blue, isn't it? Royal Blue, Royal Knights. That was my thought process. Although I love the look of the red one, so none of this should take away from how great that standard Royal Knight is from the castle. This is the actual one from the castle. He is great. That he was a great addition to get him with that visor. He's a lovely knight.
Right. Well, and red is the dominant color on that one. See, so I think that works pretty well.
But I think I just wanted to, where I see red, blue, Ryu and Ken, double dragon. Just why not have two? So
sure. Frog is someone else dropping in with the frog is in dark gray, but not old light gray. Yeah,
not light.
Oh, it is in old dark gray. Oh, I thought the frog wasn't that new or wasn't that old. Interesting.
Maybe it came out of the movies, studios things, or something weird like that wolf head. Who knows?
Okay. Frog actually came out in 2000 before the 04 change out.
Oh, well, I would have thought it was much later than that.
Racist to Brickley.
Don't go yet. Wait.
No, frogs. We're spiraling in the comments. What's happening? We should ask someone who only first saw Castle in 2013 to see if the faction we grew up with ends up being our favorite, imprinting like baby ducklings. That's a fair point. Someone who has never seen King Leo's Knights with this same lion but a different background, and then seen the Royal Knights, it would be interesting to actually show them the two shields and ask what they thought was better. I personally from an artistic point of view, think that the divided plane and the color scheme, it just looks 100 times better than whatever the heck that other one was. The X behind the lion, it doesn't even seem to mirror much of what I've seen in like actual heraldry. It just felt like kind of a weird decision. They're like, how do we change this up and make it not the same, but use the same logo? And they just did that. And I'm like, didn't really hit for me. I still have a fair amount of those shields because I did get a decent amount of the Knights Kingdom 1 stuff. But they're not, I don't love them.
No.
Just a weird direction. But we will probably talk about Knights Kingdom 1. I don't have any mocks for them, but like at some point bringing all the sets on and kind of just like hashing it out. I would say that's the absolute end of Lego Castle as we know it. For a very long time. Then it falls.
I'm open to talk about that, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we'll get on that
Yeah,
eventually. All right. Well,
Cool,
almost
man.
I'm tempted
wrap
to
up.
keep talking for 6 minutes just to put a nice 2 hour, but I think we probably should wrap it up.
Yeah, I probably better get on. But it's been a great talk, and I'm really happy with all of the contributions in the chat. It's been really good tonight, and just another beloved theme that everyone's got a lot to say about, and a lot of it really constructive. So yeah, nice one, everyone.
Michael D'Souza Cruz agreeing with me here at the end of the show. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's horrendous. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, that's been another episode. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe. Cop some instructions of some of these mocks if you're interested in building them in real life, and share the video and let people know. And welcome to all of the new subscribers over the last week. We got a few more trickling in, so thanks again for joining us. Have a great Monday day here in America, and have a fantastic evening over there in England. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Have a good one, folks.
Take it easy, guys.
Nice one, guys.